We'll go ahead. Before we begin with roll call, I will begin with the land acknowledgement. The Fresno State campus sits in the midst of the San Joaquin Valley, a valley rich in traditions and representation of Native American peoples and cultures. We're grateful to be in the traditional homelands of the Yokuts and Mono peoples, whose diverse tribal communities share stewardship over this land. Thank you for joining me in this acknowledgement. We will now move on to roll call. The Senate Recorder will take the roll call, and please respond when your name is called.
President Saletti?
Here.
EVP Prado?
Here.
VPF Guzman? Here. VPX Vu?
Here.
Senator Armstrong?
Here.
Senator Kamley?
Here.
Senator Carrillo? Here. Senator Durham? Senator Hassan? Here. Senator Hernandez? Here. Senator Hill?
Here.
Senator Martinez?
Here.
Senator Morcos?
Here.
Senator Ornelas? Here. Senator Pierce? Senator Renteria?
Here.
Senator Rivera?
Here.
Senator Seavey? Here. Senator Singh?
Here.
And Senator Vane? Here.
Thank you, Senate Recorder. There are 14 senators present and 4 executives present. Quorum is met. We'll now proceed to item 3.0, public comment. Public comment is a time for any member of the public to address the Senate on any issue affecting Associated Students, Inc. and or California State University, Fresno. You can either address your concern live during the meeting at the allotted time, or you can send your comment ahead of time via email to asi-vice-president@mail.fresnostate.edu. We'll now open the floor to public comment. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. If there is any public comment, please approach the podium. Seeing and hearing none, we shall now be moving on to action item 4.0, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor?
I'll motion.
Senator Rivera? Is there a second? Senator Kimley?
I second.
The motion to approve the agenda has been seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? We'll now move on to a voice call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The agenda has been adopted for Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. We'll now open the floor for motions on item 5.0, approval of the minutes. The Senate will review the minutes from the ASI Student Senate meeting held on June 2nd, 2025. Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Rivera?
I'll motion.
Is there a second? Senator Martinez?
I second.
Any discussion or debate? Any abstention? We'll now move on to a voice call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? The motion to approve the minutes passes. We'll now move on to item 6.0, campus resource reports. Each speaker presenting a campus resource report will have 10 minutes to address the Student Senate. Are there any campus resource reports?
Hello. Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amy Allen. I'm the Associate Dean of Student Involvement. And it's not really a report. I just want to say thank you to all of you for your support of Welcome Week. Last week we had a series of very successful events, lots of positive feedback from our students, and I know ASI has been a huge supporter of our events. I also want to say congratulations to those of you who participated in the Run to Victory and made it across the field, which I know there are many of you. I can't wait to see all the amazing photographs from that event, and just again, thank you to all of you, and also thank you to your professional staff who supported both the tailgate, lots of our events, and the run as well. So thank you.
Thank you for coming today. Are there any additional campus resource reports? Seeing and hearing none, we'll now move on to item 6.2, campus administration reports. Each speaker presenting the campus administration report will have 3 minutes to address the Student Senate. Are there any campus administration reports? Seeing and hearing none, we'll now move on to item 7.0, new business. We'll now open the floor on this. We'll now welcome Derek Brantley to the floor.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm Derek Brantley. I'm the Parking and Transportation Manager here on campus. And I've been on campus since 2003. All of this time has been spent at the police department, specifically in parking. And I've been running the department itself since 2016. So it's great to be here. It's been a long time coming. And I know we have a presentation that I sent over.
Yep.
And I can kind of talk through some things that I don't have much time, so we're going to hit the things that I hear the most from students, okay? And I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'll be more than happy to come back, too, if it warrants more time. You can cycle through it if you want, just page to page. I don't need all the effects. Okay, that's fine. So like I said, I'm Derek. I'm very, very grateful to be here. Going to just sort of talk through the parking operation. These are the big ticket items that I'm asked about the most. So on the agenda is going to be, we'll talk about a brief overview of finances, sort of our operational responsibilities, some recent wins, and some things that you all can expect in the future. So when it comes to parking, just to get this out of the way for clarity, most of you probably know, or if you don't, I'm happy to report that parking is self-funded. So we don't get allocation. It is, we sell parking permits, and that's how we run the program. And in the parking financial world, we have two buckets of money. We have fees, which are most closely associated with your permit rates, parking meter money, daily dispenser payments, event parking, things like that. That all goes into our fees bucket. And that is used for the day-to-day operations of the program and construction. And it's all very, very clearly designated by Ed Code that that's what it has to be spent on. On the flip side, we have the fines budget, the unpopular fines budget, right? That money, per Ed Code, can only be used for alternative transportation and or fulfillment of the enforcement program itself. And on campus, we spend all of that money, most of the time, more than we're making in right back into the AT programs that go directly to students. And I'll touch on some of those as we roll through this. Okay, so some of the things that I'm just going to kind of address some of the stuff that I hear the most and try to provide some context. Don't expect everybody to agree with it, but I just felt like the context would help you guys. We don't have enough parking. That's one of the things that we hear quite a bit, right? There's not enough parking. Well, up on the presentation slide here, this is a list of the parking inventory counts for all the other CSUs. I know it's a busy chart, but the context I think matters. Obviously, we're in red. There's a little over 7,000 parking stalls allocated specifically for you. That number jumps up to around 10,400 after 6 o'clock when the staff goes home. Then the rest of them open up to you. So during the daytime, you got a little over 7,000. At night, it jumps over 10. The colors are significant because the yellow represents campuses that have parking garages, which is one of the other big questions I get asked a lot. As you can see, not in every case, but if you have a garage, you probably have more space, and that just makes sense, right? But if you look at our count relative to the other CSUs for not having a garage, the ones in blue are surface lots like us. So of the campuses that don't have structures, we're way ahead of them. So in short, we have parking. It's not always where we want it to be. I totally acknowledge that, but I think this context would help. So go ahead and proceed. Thank you. The parking rates is the other thing I get to talk about a lot, right? These are the rates of all the campuses. This is a semester rate. As you can see, San Francisco, $500 a semester. That's a different case, right? I mean, they're downtown, very little resources in terms of space, so they're really expensive. Once again, you'll notice we're very lucky that our rate is the lowest in the system, tied with Bakersfield. It has not been touched since 2012 at all, not a penny, relative to the student rate. And I know that myself, I've been here that whole time. Me and my team are extremely proud of that. Being that we're self-funded, everything that we do costs more money than it did in 2012, but our income source has never changed. So it's because we got a lot of really hardworking people and creative thinkers that we're able to do that and keep that rate really low for you. So the parking garage question, being that we're self-funded, the campuses that have garages pay a ton more to park than you folks do. And some of the ones that are sort of close to us, it's a little bit deceiving because those structures may have been paid for decades ago when they obviously cost a lot less. You're talking tens of millions of dollars to construct a parking garage. So that is some context that, although we're not perfect, I think we're pretty lucky that we have available space and our permit rates are cheap relative to the other campuses. Similar slide here for context. The one on the far right, I took these numbers off of what the other campuses reported. Chico reported that their daily rate's $1. That's actually supposed to be $10, but so we're $5 a day, and it's very much similar to the previous slide. The campuses that have these expensive garages all pay long-term debt service on them, so they have to charge more to pay to park. So our $5 rate is basically the lowest, if not close. So some of the things that my team does that you may not know about, it's not just parking enforcement. I know that that's the thing that gets the headlines and that's what's most visible. But the same folks that are enforcing parking day to day are the same ones that are opening your classrooms at 5:30 in the morning when most of us are asleep. And they're the same ones locking everything at night after you guys have long gone home. These are the same people. So sort of a day in the life of a parking person, a CSS, is they get here, they open the campus for everybody, then they go out and direct traffic and try to get you through the intersections quickly. Then they go out and do some parking enforcement, and then everything works in reverse, when the night shift comes on. It's just some enforcement, some traffic control, and then security. So we do a lot. The disabled persons transport program called Scout that most of you are familiar with is a major lift. We literally do thousands of transports a year for people that need mobility assistance. And these are the same people that do that too, along with some very, very good student assistance support that I'm happy to have. We provide safety escorts, all the blue light emergency phones. It's these folks that go out and test them on a routine schedule. A lot of stuff's not on here. They're the ones that check the lighting and report any unsafe lighting conditions right to facilities. Obviously security, and yes, down at the bottom there is parking enforcement as a part of their detail. But I think that context would help in terms of how they spend their day. Also, just to kind of sew up the enforcement piece, we write about half as many citations as we did 8 to 10 years ago. And that's something that ethically is my job. We have to enforce because you have to enforce to get compliance and make sure everybody's paying so the program is able to provide those services that I just chatted about. But our goal is not to go out and write a bunch of tickets. Our goal is to prevent tickets. And that is what I spent all my time doing, and we'll go over some of the recent changes. So all these leaps that we make in technology and advancement of the program all makes tickets less likely, which is great. I mean, that's the point. So just wanted to get that out there. And all of that fine money that we do take in through parking fines, all, and I mean all, goes back into what you see on the screen. That's how we pay for the fax program, where everybody can use fax buses in town just by using your ID card. The V-Line program from Visalia to Fresno State is a major success. It's very expensive to operate. It all comes out of fines. Our carpool programs and our EV stations, stuff that's not up here, bike racks, scooter racks, maintenance of all of that, it all comes out of your fines account. So fines does not go to salaries and projects or cars or equipment. It all goes right to what you see on the screen. We've had an extremely busy year, dating back actually a couple years. We've had some major major wins that we're extremely proud of. As you're all aware in this room, we rolled out virtual permitting to you all in the spring. And by the end of this semester, the staff and faculty will all be on it as well. Their process is a little behind because it had to go through a pretty extensive meet and confer process with the various bargaining unions. And happy to report that that all came back in good standing. So, but we had to start the semester, and by the time I got that back, it was middle of August. So we're gonna sort of phase them in before the end of the year, and then we're done with physical permits, and I'm very happy about that. Obviously, if you've seen our little Prius driving around with the cameras on it, that's what it's doing. It's not tracking people or anything like that. All it's doing is reading license plates and bouncing it off of a parking permit database to verify your parking credentials. That's all it's doing. The vehicle does not write tickets. The vehicle spots potential tickets, and then a human being still goes out, verifies that it read it right, and does all of that due diligence to make sure that the technology read it correctly. Obviously, most of the things are online. We updated our mobile parking payment platform, the new kiosks, our pay by phone mobile app's been upgraded. We're doing events digitally now for invited guests to campus. We launched a very, very successful bike and scooter registration program where we're giving out free U-Locks to students. I checked before I came over here, and we've given out close to 50 already this semester, which is awesome. And obviously, we got P5 and 6 covered. That wasn't my project, but I'm going to take credit for how it looks because it's nice. So the car's out there. Everybody talks about how that is, it's nice this time of year to keep your car cool, but I like this side of it too. At night, you can look at the lighting and the safety component that it's, providing us at night, which is a lot better than what it looked like before. So, some stuff that's on the way. Bulldog Express, I know you're all very aware of that. We are right at the end of our RFP process. We've got it down to 2 finalists. Getting very, very close. That will be launched this semester. I don't want to give you a date yet because there's a lot going on with that. You want to make sure that the contracts are all in place and everything. But as soon as I have a date, I'll make sure to get that out to the campus right away. Like I already stated, the virtual permitting for the staff is coming. We're going to install more EV stations. That's coming from fines. Our goal is to, everywhere we can, we're going to try to keep adding more and more of those. Those are full every day out in P2. And we are in the design. This is the last thing. We're in design right now to modernize parking lot P20, which is north of the PD. So if you scroll down, that's what it looks like now. Sort of an older design. You can see by the color of the asphalt that it's been phased over the years, and this is what we're working on. Okay, it takes all those, I know it's hard to see with this sort of style, but all those above ground water ponds or water basins that are out there will go underneath where that yellow box is, and then by just shifting things around and using our space more efficiently, we're able to add somewhere over 439 stalls, which makes up for what we're losing in the dorms because the housing project did take some staff or some parking space. So we're going to make up for that plus some. So that's really all I got. I mean, it's a quick overview. I don't have much time, so those are sort of the big ticket things, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them, or come back. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you. Does any senator have any questions for our guest today? Senator Carrillo?
So I wanted to inquire whether there has been any recent considerations regarding the allocation of yellow parking spaces on campus. This is because my constituents, as well as I, have observed that a significant number of yellow designated spots are often remain unused throughout the day, especially like in more populated parking spots.
You're speaking in terms of making those available to students?
Yes.
Okay, good question. I do get that quite a bit. There's a couple of things. Number one, I'm always looking at everything involving parking. So not too long ago, but probably prior to you guys being here, we did do something about it. It used to be 7 o'clock before students could get into those spaces. So we worked really hard to get it bumped up to 6. There's a lot that goes into that because it's a collective bargaining issue with the employee unions. And so if I take away their spaces, I have to put them back in a reasonable proximity, or else I'm upsetting working conditions. And there's a lot of technical language like that nobody wants to hear right this second, but that's why it's not super easy to do without building something that adds space. Obviously, if you build a new lot, and then you have flexibility because it's a new facility. But the stuff that's existing is inventoried really tight and reported to the chancellor's office every year. And that's why that question is not just as easy as it sounds, but it was a big win to get it moved up to 6. Because it used to be 7, and that really didn't make a lot of sense to me, being that most staff is out of here at 5 or 5:30. So, and to faculty and staff's credit, they were welcoming to that. And I mean, it took a few things, but we got it done. I hope that answers your question in general terms, but a lot of it's to do with the inventory responsibilities I have to track with staff. Okay. But I'm welcome to hear any suggestions.
If we have any additional questions, can we make a motion to amend the time? So like add 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
Motion to add time.
Is there a second? Senator Gadio? How much time would you like to amend it by?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Uh-oh.
And then any discussion or debate to amend the time by 10 minutes? Okay, we'll do a voice call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We'll go ahead and amend the time. And then any additional questions? Senator Sebi?
I wanted to follow up.
Oh, you have to hold that little button, and then you're good.
Hi, is that good? Okay, so to follow up on that, I recall during all the campus craziness during the construction
I remember,
and
yeah.
parking, I'm sure you do. One of the things that struck me was the fact that it's allowed for faculty to use their yellow pass in green spaces. And during that time, I understand we were under construction, but I do take a bit of issue with that now. If they have very tightly regulated and inventoried yellow spaces for faculty, I don't think it's fair for students if faculty's taking student spaces. So if that is something that we could discuss further, maybe, I don't know, it'll be a little hard to tell if staff are in student spaces now with the
Right.
going virtual.
Actually, it's easier.
Well, for you, not for us. But that was something that did come up as like instructors and staff can park anywhere, but students are limited on where they can choose to park.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate that point.